Hi guys, what's up? My name is Sam and welcome back to another video where today I shall be doing a quick fire review of the very latest Doctor Who episode, Legend of the Sea Devils, notably featuring the long-awaited return of one of Classic Who's most iconic monsters, the Sea Devils, not seen since the third Doctor fought them all the way back in the 70s. Now, I'm going to dive, get it, straight into the story here, so if you haven't seen this episode and want to check out for yourself, please click away now and do so. This is your only spoiler warning. So the episode starts when the Doctor and crew arrive in 19th century China, where a small village comes under siege when pirate queen Madam Ching accidentally releases an ancient sea devil from its imprisonment, while seeking the lost treasure of Flor de la Mar, located on the sunken shipwreck belonging to a captain called Sin Ji Hun from the 16th century, who went down with his ship. The Doctor decides to claim this treasure for herself in order to get Madam Ching to listen to her about the danger the sea devils pose, which has rejoined its kin upon a floating pirate ship. So the Doctor and Yaz go and find the location of Ji-Hun's sunken ship, but after being captured by the Sea Devils, discover it's actually the same ship belonging to the Sea Devils, just repurposed after sinking to the bottom of the ocean back in the 1500s. Ji-Hun is also revealed to still be alive, captured by the Sea Devils all those years ago when the ship sunk whilst attempting to keep a powerful gem called the Keystone out of their hands, which the Sea Devils plan to find and use to reclaim planet Earth as their own. The Doctor, Yaz and Ji-Hun escape onto Madam Ching's ship, where Dan and a survivor from the village called Ying Qi are currently being held prisoner. The Sea Devil locates the Keystone, which is in possession of Ying Qi, carried down from his ancestors to him after one of Ji-Hun's men escaped with it back before the sinking of his ship, making Ying Qi that man's descendant. The Sea Devil takes the Keystone back to his ship and everyone follows him on board. They fight the Sea Devils and most of them, including the leader, get killed, and their plan is stopped after Ji-Hun sacrifices himself to make this happen. Madam Ching finds the treasure that she's looking for, Ying Qi joins her as crew, and the Doctor, Yaz and Dan fly off to their next adventure, and that's where the episode ends. So as far as the story goes, it's fine, it's simple enough and easy to follow, but in the entirety of the 50-minute runtime the episode has, it doesn't really feel like a whole lot happens, to be honest. I mean, I remember when I was watching it and it reached about the 35-minute mark, and I was a bit shocked because like it felt at that point a lot more should have happened, but it didn't, and I think there's a lot to do with the pacing, to be honest. I mean, in some instances it's not great, especially in one moment where we find out the Keystone, the whole purpose of it, how it's world ending, and then literally 5 minutes later the Sea Devil has it in his hands and he's starting to initiate the end of the world. It's just like, give us time to breathe. It was just a bit fast. In fact, the whole section was really quick. As soon as he's got the Keystone, then the whole plan is forward within 5 minutes, and it's just, well, cool, that's the return of the Sea Devils. Pretty underwhelming, and yeah, there's still 10 minutes to go after that. But yeah, overall the story was fine. It served its purpose for the return of the Sea Devils, I guess, and yeah, to be honest, the return of said Sea Devils, it was very underwhelming. It didn't feel like they did a whole lot. At the very start of the episode, the leader one's released from its statue prison thing, and after that, all you really see is that one talking to the Doctor about this and that and the other, about how it hates humans as such, and how, you know, just giving us some context into what's been happening. And then as soon as it gets to Keystone, it gets stabbed. Yeah, it doesn't even get stabbed on screen, it dies off screen and you just see its body afterwards. Like, oh, okay, that's the end of them. It was a very underwhelming end for what was a kind of cool villain, but not very well adapted on. And there were quite a few Sea Devils in there. It had a good amount of crew, but there's only 3 instances I remember really seeing any more other than just one, and that was when this first shot when it's addressing them after coming aboard the ship. There's another one where in this fight scene where there's a few of them, and then there's at the very end where Dan cuts down a whole massive group of them. So this, and combined with the story feeling pretty nothing, it just really made it feel like the Sea Devils deserved more than this. In fact, they did deserve more than this. It was just such an underwhelming return for them, and I feel like you could replace the Sea Devils with just some generic aquatic alien race and nothing would change. I feel like that would have been the better path to take. So unfortunately, yeah, the monster return we've all been waiting years for just didn't go out so well, and I'm not really surprised because well, it's this era, really. So yeah, that's that really, but I will give the Sea Devils this. They looked pretty damn cool in this episode. The design for them, the whole pirate theme, it worked out well. I think it was better than just keeping them exactly how they looked in the 70s, which was when they had that fishnet thing going on, which worked. I mean, the costumes design was pretty good. You had like these barnacles on them, I think, on their clothing. The clothing looked pretty ragged. They did look like a seafaring race, and yeah, it worked pretty well. It was cool seeing them take on a speaking role as well. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen this before. I've not seen Warriors of the Deep, so I can't confirm that 100%. So yeah, unfortunately, that's what I have to say on the Sea Devils. It wasn't really all that impressive, but I guess the rest of the characters, Doctor and Yaz is probably where to talk first. Not really any change with them, it was just them, but the interesting thing to talk about with them is the continuation of Phasmin from Eve of the Daleks. Yeah, that gets continued, that gets brought up. The Doctor actually instigates it. The Doctor's all like, yeah, if I was to go on a date, it'd be with you, Yaz. And then Yaz is all like, well, I'd go on a date with you too, Doctor. And then the Doctor's like, great, but it's never gonna happen. Essentially, because she basically confesses that she does like Yaz, you know, which is fine, I guess. And then she says, oh, but I can't be with you because I can't get fixed to anything. And I'm just sat there like, hang on a minute, River Song, you were fixed enough to fucking get married to her. Like, it seems like a bit of a flimsy excuse, because why not? Just why not be with her, I guess. Yeah, it just almost seems like excuses, like, you know, I like you, but you're not worth my time, so, sorry. So yeah, essentially the Doctor friend zones Yaz, and it's not even a tender moment. Like, I assumed because Chris Chibnall, like, hurriedly wrote this into the script last episode, and, you know, wants to make a big deal of it for the last two episodes, you know, the penultimate one, this one, and the finale. I thought it was going to be a much bigger deal than it was, but no, like, after everyone's defeated, there's a whole, I think, just under 10 minutes of them wrapping stuff up, so again, number one, it feels like the Sea Devils thing was a minor inconvenience which the plot was trying to hurriedly get rid of so we could get to the Phasmin stuff. And then when we get to the Phasmin stuff, it's just all like, there's no tender moments. They just don't talk like they've got emotions with each other. It's just like acknowledging they like each other and then agreeing, okay, let's never act on it. It was pathetic, to be honest. It was kind of like watching two kids from primary school just confess they've got crushes on each other and then decide, actually, I don't really fancy doing anything about it, and then just leaving it. It was just bad. It was just badly done, and I'm guessing it's not completely the end of the whole Phasmin thing, but that's where they were trying to go with it anyway. I mean, who knows? That might even be the last time we hear of it, which makes bringing it into the scripts or to this era so late even more ludicrous. Apart from that, yeah, the Doctor was just the Doctor, and Yaz was just useless as ever. So was Dan. Dan did sod all. He was just on that pirate ship with Madam Ching, and that's it. He fought some Sea Devils. That's it. Oh yeah, there's this brilliant bit where he cuts down about 5 of them, and I'm presuming they're dead, and it's quite funny because I think about 5 minutes before that, Ji Hun, he stabs the lead of the Sea Devils, and the Doctor makes this big point about how he didn't need to do it, but then just 5 minutes later Dan fucking cuts down a massive group of them, and it's just like, whoa, how was he going to explain that one to her? Other characters, Madam Ching and Yin Ki, they were characters. They were there. They were just, you know, it's typical Chibnall stuff where they're extremely forgettable. They're just there. They didn't really serve any purpose. The special effect is something else I want to bring up because it was a very mixed bag. The ships and the sea monster that's in there in a couple of shots, that looks fine. Can't really fault it. But the green screen upon the actual pirate ship, that looked disastrous. Like, holy hell. It would look so bad. It looked like a pantomime. It looked like an actual painted backdrop. And then it was just, you know, the flooring and everything was the actual set. That's what it looked like. It was just terrible. And the Sea Devils, when they actually talked, I do appreciate what they did with that. Like, it was just a rubber mask with CGI to make it give the Sea Devil some movement. So it's blinking, its throat is bulging, its mouth is opening a bit when it speaks, and it wasn't full on opening. I did appreciate that. I think with animatronics it may have looked a little tacky, because given the small head sculpt and the massive mouth, it would have looked a bit, I think it would have just looked like Pac-Man ultimately, if they use animatronics to animate the facial expressions. But at times the CGI did make it look quite weird. That's all I can really say on it. I appreciate it. It looked a bit weird at times, but ultimately it was fine. There was a couple of instances where the CGI looked terrible. It's specifically, actually, when they're skipping stones on the sea, and it looks so out of place. It looked terrible. I just can't believe some of the CGI, really. But that's not a massive complaint, because, well, I don't know. I've got no real massive complaints with this episode, I guess. It's just... The cinematography was fine, you know, it did its job. Music was fine, it did its job. I think that's it, ultimately. I think I've described my points pretty well. It's just, it adds together to make an episode I don't really feel I have any strong feelings about. Like, completely different to Eve of the Daleks, which I was planning on doing a review on, but I literally got too pissed off with it, so I abandoned it for quite a while. I'm not sure if that'll ever resurface, but... basically, Eve of the Daleks, it brought me to a level of infuriation and annoyance, and it's just, I didn't think it was possible. Eve of the Daleks was terrible. I despise that episode with every fibre of my being. It was so shit. But yeah, this episode, I just don't have any strong feelings about. I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's just underwhelming. And I don't even know if I can call it that, because I didn't have high expectations for this episode at all. It was just meh. It was just your run-of-the-mill Chibnall crap. And it might just be me completely numb to anything this era has to put out anymore. But yeah, no overall strong feelings towards it. It was just a Chibnall episode. And it's strange, because it feels so underwhelming. It felt like nothing happened, and considering this is the penultimate episode to Jodie Whittaker's regeneration, it just like, I felt like, you know, as soon as I turned it off, that's it. It just didn't exist in my head anymore. That was it. So, in total, I guess, in conclusion, Legend of the Sea Devils, just an episode. Just an episode. I can't ever see myself rewatching it, and I think that's the way it's going to remain. So... there you go. That was Legend of the Sea Devils, everyone. I just want to quickly go through the next time trailer as well, because my god, does that look like a mess. So, obviously, next episode, Jodie Whittaker's regenerating, and we got a little teaser at the end of the episode to see what she'll be facing. So, we'll go through the villains first. So, we see Daleks. They're coming back. We see Cybermen, including the lone Cyberman, who supposedly got shrunk by the Master. He's coming back. Speaking of the Master, he's coming back. So that's 3 villains already. And then we've got Kate Stewart returning. Yeah, they're not done with her after her return in Flux, which was incredibly underwhelming. So can't wait to see how that gets pushed to the side again. Vinda from Flux is coming as well. You know, that really well-developed character everyone cared about. He's coming back for some reason. And then it's not just characters from Flux returning. We've got 2 classic companions returning as well. We've got Tegan and we've got Ace. What? This is meant to be the Doctor's regeneration story. Why is so much being crammed into... why have we got classic companions returning? Honestly, when they popped up, it felt like I thought I was watching a Big Finish trailer for a second. It was just bizarre. It was giving me Flux flashbacks, because so much was crammed into them episodes, and towards the end, the trailers as well. Like, you just didn't know what to focus on, and this felt exactly like that. It was just, he's here, she's here. I don't know what adding the classic companions into this episode is gonna do. So yeah, it just looks like a clusterfuck of a finale. It just looks messy, it looks uninviting, it just, yeah. Good God. But we do see a shot of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor regenerating, which was the best bit of the entire episode for me, really. Like, just seeing that shot alone, because it's nearly over. This era is nearly over. I'm so happy. I can't describe it. It was just week after week of utter disappointment. and just hatred for a show I've loved since I was a kid. I'm so excited to see it hopefully come back onto the rails with Russell T Davies. At least we know it's in good hands, and seeing that shot of her finally going has ignited hope in me. So this is not all negativity, at least not for me. This end of the era for me is a very exciting time. There we go, yeah, that is Legend of the Sea Devils. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little review. And just before I go, I'm going to take this time to quickly explain my absence from this channel. Yeah, I know it's been months, to say the least. Yeah, basically I disappeared after this collaboration video I did with Time of the Whovians United. The reason for that is because they actually invited me to come aboard onto their channel. I didn't intend on abandoning this one, but it was hard to juggle two channels between each other, and yeah, unfortunately I'm also part of this scam where you have to work 9 to 5 for the rest of your life until you die, so juggling all three of those elements plus social life, this, that and the other, it's very difficult. I'm going to try and be more active on this channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for Time of the Whovians United. We've got some great content out there, so do give that a watch. And I suppose that brings us to the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked what I had to say. I hope you found it insightful, informative. If you want to watch the episode now, if you aren't convinced, you never want to watch it again, I've done my job right, I guess. I shall see you in the next one. Don't know what that will be, don't know when it will be. It could be another year, who knows, but well, I guess we'll find out when the time comes. So until then, see you later, bye bye.